Hey mathematicians, this is the video for home connections 55 and 56. A 4th grade class earned a brownie dessert party for having the highest attendance in one grading period. Small pans of brownies were cut into 9 pieces, and large pans of brownies were cut into 16 pieces. That means when we're talking about a small pan, we're thinking ninths. And when we're talking about a large pan, we're thinking sixteenths. Tori ate 2 brownies from a small pan. What fraction of the brownies in that pan did she eat? So she ate 2 brownies out of the 9 brownies in a small pan. And it says to draw a sketch. It is okay if your sketch does not look exactly like mine, as long as you have 9 pieces and you show 2 of them, 2 ninths. Number 2, Holly ate 1 more brownie than Tori. So instead of eating 2 ninths, Holly ate 3 ninths. Write 2 equivalent fractions. So 3 ninths would be one of them. Remember, to find an equivalent fraction, you can multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, and you will get an equivalent fraction. For example, if you double the top, you better double the bottom. Remember, fractions like to be fair. Another equivalent fraction would be 6/18. You could also divide the top and bottom by the same thing, and you will get an equivalent fraction. So imagine, instead of doubling the top and the bottom, what if you divided the top by 3, right? 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. 1/3 would also be acceptable. Okay? I would accept 2/6. I would accept 9/27. Those are all equivalent fractions, all equal to 1/3. Okay? And if you want to know that they're all equal to 1/3, you could draw 3 ninths. Right, here's 3 ninths. And can you tell that that's 1/3 of the pan, right? Here's 1/3 of the pan. Here would be 2/3 of the pan. Here would be 3/3 of the pan. So 3 ninths is really the same thing as 1/3, which is the same thing as 2/6, which is the same thing as 6/18, which is the same as 9/27, which is the same thing as 4/12, which is the same thing as 5/15. All of these would be equivalent fractions, and I could go on infinitely. Okay, so as long as you have something that's equivalent to 3 ninths or equivalent to 1/3, you're good to go. Number 3, Henry's table group seats 5 kids. Each student ate 2 brownies. Write an equation that shows what fraction of a large pan was eaten. So probably a realistic 4th grade equation would be 5 kids times 2 brownies equals 10 brownies. And then you would say that's 10/16 of a large pan. You won't really be multiplying fractions until 5th grade, but here's an equation that you would probably write in 5th grade. 5 kids, and they each eat 2/10 of a pan, and that equals, 2/16 of a pan, and that equals 10/16. So if you wrote that equation, that's great as well. So either 5 kids times 2 brownies, and then you would know that means 10/16, or directly do 5 times 2/16 equals 10/16. But 10/16 is the answer. April ate 1 brownie from a large pan, and her friend Christina ate 4 brownies from the same pan. Write 2 fractions to tell how much of a large pan of brownies Christina ate. Christina ate 4 out of 16. Remember, if you multiply the top and bottom by the same thing, you will get an equivalent fraction. There are so many possibilities, an infinite number of possibilities, in fact. You could write 1/4, you could write 2/8, you could write 3/12, you could double and do 8/32. All of these would be equivalent fractions to 4/16. What fraction of a large pan of brownies did the girls eat together? April ate 1/16. Christina ate 4/16. and altogether that equals 5/16. Okay, moving on to the next page. Page 56. Freddie had 2 of the brownies from a large pan. His friend said he ate 1/8. Tell why you agree or disagree. So if he had 2 brownies from a large pan, that means he had 2/16, because a large pan is 16 pieces. And so we need to decide, is his friend correct or is his friend incorrect? Is 2/16 the same thing as 1/8? Well, if you cut the numerator in half and cut the denominator in half, you see that 2/16 is the same thing as 1/8. So I'm going to say, yes, I agree. And remember, if your brain is feeling a little fuzzy on fractions, it is always a good idea to draw a picture. So let me draw a large pan of brownies. Clone this here. Okay, I'm going to get this one into 16ths. Okay, so I have my one pan of brownies cut into 16ths and the other pan of brownies cut into 8ths. So if I shade them in and say, here's 2/16, and the friend is saying that's the same thing as 1/8. So let me shade in 1/8. And if I were to put, I know you don't have a smartboard in front of you, but you can enjoy my smartboard capabilities. If I were to slide 2/16 on top of 1/8, do you see that it's just the same? 2/16 is the same thing as 1/8, so that's why we agree. Number 2, in an 18-egg carton, 1/3 is 6 eggs. Use the grids below to help you imagine and draw cartons where. So this means we could be talking about a 12-egg carton. We could be talking about an 18-egg carton. We could be going to a big jumbo store and buying 30 eggs at a time. So we need to use the information that they give us to figure out what kind of a carton are we looking at. If half is 9 eggs, well, let me draw 9 eggs. Okay, so imagine 9 eggs. You can even draw the eggs in there if you want. There's 9 eggs. But that is only half of the picture. If that is only half of the picture, then that means we need to double it to get the whole picture. So we're talking about 18 egg carton. Right? If half of the carton is 9 eggs, then the whole carton is 18 eggs. Then it says 3/8 is 18 eggs. So 3/8 is not even half the carton. So 3/8 is 18 eggs. So let me do 3 going across, 6 going down, because I know that 3 times 6 is 18. Okay, let me get this picture here, and you can follow along with me. Okay, so I'm drawing 3/8. Imagine that this is 1/8 of the picture. This is another 1/8 of the picture. This is another 1/8 of the picture. So that means that 1/8 of the carton is that many eggs. 2/8 of the carton is that many eggs. And 3 eggs in the carton, or 3/8 of the carton is that many eggs. Okay, so if you look kind of at the columns, and altogether that's 18 eggs. So 1/8 is 6 eggs, 2/8 is 12 eggs, and 3/8 is 18 eggs. 3/8 is not the whole thing. Don't you need 8/8 to be the whole thing? So let's keep drawing columns. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and that's 18 eggs. Here would be 4/8 of the picture, 5/8 of the picture, 6/8 of the picture, 7/8 of the picture, and 8/8 of the picture. And 8/8 of the picture is the whole picture, or 8/8 of the carton is the whole carton. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. There would be 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, right? If you put all that together, that would be 8/8, or the whole shebang, the whole picture. So 3/8 is 18 eggs. Add another eighth, right? Another 6 eggs. Add another 6 eggs. Add another 6 eggs. Another 6 eggs. Another 6 eggs, until we get 8/8 of the picture, right? We only had 3/8 of the picture to start with. Now we have 8/8 of the picture. And that means that we're talking, if you count all of those eggs, we're talking about a 48 egg carton, which would be a ton of eggs to be able to buy all in one package. All right, here are the answers to page 55 and page 56. Remember, with fractions, think of pictures, think of food, and that will be very helpful. All right, kiddos, I'll see you in class.